Welcome to BMW blog and welcome to the new BMW iX3. Yes, it's here. The new electric iX3 has finally arrived. It's in front of us and we're here in Munich to have a first look at the brand new model. What can we say about it? First of all, it's the first ever BMW electric car that is positioned within an existing model lineup. So with the X3 you also have petrol powered, you have diesel powered and you have plug-in hybrid drivetrains and models available. And now you also have a full electric car, the iX3. And this is the first time that this happens and that the manufacturer is able to position a car like this. Of course, there's many more to come. Many of the other model lineups will have also a full electric model. This car is manufactured in a facility in China, in Shenyang, and it offers a combination of a battery pack between all four wheels, positioned really low, good for center of gravity, and a single motor on the rear axle. This is an electric motor that produces a maximum output of 286 horsepower and a peak torque of 400 Newton meters. The battery pack, which is positioned between the wheels and under the cabin, so to speak, offers 80 kilowatts and is a 400 volt lithium ion battery, offering you a range of up to 460 kilometers WLTP, which is the test cycle, so to speak. Normally with electric cars, and what I've experienced in the past, you are looking at roughly a real range of about 85% of what the WLTP range offers you. So yeah, at this moment we can't really determine if the range of the iX3 is what BMW quotes, because we're not driving that much today. This would also be something you want to test over many different days, maybe weeks, to see if that's the real range you achieve. The same goes for the charging. It's not something we can really test today and see how quickly it's charging, but BMW is quoting a charging time of 10 minutes for 100 kilometers, which is of course great, but something we really have to test. And this is just a first look and a first drive in the car, and in the coming months we'll have a better look at it. What I would like to do in this little short video is run you through some of the features, some of the key things with regards to the iX3, which in the basis is a X3. As you can see, there's not much different from the normal X3. You see some blue details here. You see this little air vent which is not functional, it's just design. There's a new wheel design. I wonder if you can get at the dealer also standard wheels, then it would not be such a noticeable car as an electric car. The wheels and especially the front really give you the idea that you're driving an electric car. And some people might say, I would like to have it in black, and I have black wheels without all these optimized flow optimized spokes on the rims. You can black out the blue if you would like to do that aftermarket, to give you a bit more understated and under the radar look for your electric car. Of course, a really noticeable difference is the front. It has a new kind of grille design, but for the rest the car is quite an X3. You're looking at an X3. It's not like the i3 and the i8, which were designs which were really different from any other BMW we have seen, and also not positioned within a model lineup that was already existing. It's also the rear. You can see no exhaust pipes, of course, these little two blue type of diffuser parts on the rear, and of course there's the iX3 badge on the rear and the little blue line around the BMW logo, as you can see as well. With regards to the setup itself, of course in the front there's nothing, and the gentleman that gave us a tour of the car earlier today explained us that you can have a nice little drift with it as well, because the majority of the weight is at the rear. So that's an interesting setup. So at the front, not much to see. I can open the hood for you, but you would just not see anything. They made a cover over it, and there's not much under the cover as well. And at the rear, also, you would think, is there a lot of loss of space? Not really, it's just standard X3 as you can see, and the electric motor is underneath here, but you didn't have any loss of space with regards to a normal X3. Of course, if you lift this, you'll see that there's charging cable and some other stuff in the back. But yeah, for anyone that's getting this car, it's most of all an X3 with an electric powertrain. And there are a few features in the inside of the X3 which I'd like to touch on and show you, which are key for this particular car. And some of the interior changes as well, I will touch on those as well. So let's step into the car and discuss those. So let's have a quick look inside the new iX3, and by panning the camera around you can see some of the interior details, and what you see is mostly X3. There are a few little changes which I would like you to I will touch on and show you, but let's step in and run through them. There's some features inside the iDrive I want to touch on, but first of all let's have a look at the design of the car on the interior. As you can see, there are little design changes. On the drive selector here we have this nice little blue line. There's some around the logo here as well, and there is this new starter button in blue. If we press it, you hear this lovely noise, and then you see the iX3 on the dashboard, also here on the dashboard. And then for the rest, there's the standard features. We have the iDrive controller that controls the iDrive system inside the car. We have all the standard buttons for Sport, Comfort, Eco, Pro, and the park distance control, your handbrake. It's all something we've seen before on the normal X3. It's nothing new, nothing different. A lovely setup. There are a few little differences inside the iDrive controller, with a few which connects us to some of the new features that are in the iX3. So let's run through them. First of all, here under the short button we have the iconic Sounds Electric. And what that is nothing other is that it's the new active sound design for BMW i cars. It offers you via the speakers a sound experience, so to speak, and gives you a bit of an idea that you're driving an electric car. Gives you a little bit of additional experience inside of the cabin. It's not too obstructive or intrusive or in any way. It's lovely. It fits well to the car. You hear a difference between the sporty, the balanced, and if it's based on driving mode, you hear the difference that is there, but it's not majorly different. It's just nice to have an additional sound to it. Of course, if you don't like it, you can also switch it off, and then you don't have it anymore. Next to that, you have a really important feature, which is called adaptive recuperation. And what that is, just simply to explain to you, is like if you are on the throttle and you release the throttle, the car will brake for you. So the electric motor will have a braking effect, which allows you to recharge the battery pack. It won't have a massive impact, but if you want, you have the ability to use that feature, and you can set it when the drive selector is in D to adaptive, high, low, and medium. Of course, you can also go to a different mode, which is the B mode. You will see it on the drive selector here. So we're currently in P, in park. If we move the lever into drive, we're now in drive. We can drive away. We can just push the throttle and release the brake pedal, and we move. We can also then put it in B, and then you have a sort of a braking mode, which is a much intensified recuperation and recharging of the batteries. And when it's in D, you can choose the setup via the menu as I showed here on the iDrive screen. Additionally, you also have a coasting function when you're driving on the highway, which is lovely as well, to give you some the ability not to use that much performance and power from the battery, and ability to have a relatively relaxing drive and save some energy. All in all, interior, as I mentioned, all the same to what we've seen on the X3. It's just the small little details, also with regards to the air conditioning, we've seen that before. Controls on the steering wheel, quite similar. Same here on this side of the driver's side. Yeah, you know, also the glove box, we've seen that before. It's the same. You know, in the end, this car is all about the ability. When you go to a dealer, you're going to buy an X3 and then you walk in and say, what kind of powertrain do I want? Do I want a petrol powered, diesel powered, hybrid, or do I want a full electric? And it's fully based on how you are going to use the car in your private life or in your business life. And also based, of course, on local taxes or benefits that you get from the local authorities. So yeah, this is really something interesting and a good choice from BMW to fit the new iX3 and this particular setup, and the first pure electric car within, you know, a lineup of a model fitted in the X3, because the X3 is an extremely successful model. And I really like that they chose this kind of setup to make that work. Just to run you through a little bit through the menu and the other options, you know, if you go to media, you know, these are all things we've seen before. Also in communication for your phone, navigation. Yeah, with regards to car features, driving information, you have journey data, which you can pop up. You can bring the sport displays up if you feel like you want to show to anyone how much performance this car has to offer. Show something about the energy flow, and you can see where the battery pack is and how full it is and how much range we have right now. So yeah, that's really interesting, and yeah, nothing really new, but yeah, it's of course adjusted to the iX3. So I think I've shown you everything on the inside. Let's have a little talk about the driving dynamics. Of course, this is a first drive. This is not a full long-term test in which we can give you better insight in how we feel that it drives and how much range you can get out of the battery, how charging works, and how soon you can charge the battery back up. But yeah, let's go outside, have a little bit of a final talk and some initial thoughts about the new iX3. So we're now back outside with the iX3 to give you a little bit of our final thoughts, some final conclusion on our first little drive with the iX3 here near Munich. And that starts with some of the performance figures. The iX3 goes from 0 to 100 in 6.8 seconds and has a top speed of 180 kilometers an hour. We already hit that limited top speed, and on the dashboard it told us that it was 189 kilometers an hour, and that's something we've seen before with other BMW models as well. But the iX3 is not about high speed, top speed, fast acceleration. This is a different kind of setup with regards to, you might have seen all the ludicrous modes in Teslas and that sort of stuff. That's not what this car is all about. You have to understand that the X3 lineup now has an electric vehicle, and that's how you should look at it. You go to the dealer to buy an X3, and then you have the ability to go for a petrol powered, a diesel powered, a plug-in hybrid, or an electric. And that is really important. So many of the people might come in and say, oh, I want to come for a mini SUV or midi SUV. And the iX3 becomes an opportunity or an option because they might want to drive electric. And that is really important. And this car will act as a daily in many cases, and will offer the opportunity to transport people in great comfort. The car is all about that. It's comfort, even though it has sport modes and it gives you the sporty feeling which we are used to from BMWs. It has an active suspension fitted as standard, and you feel the difference within the steering, in the suspension, and in the so to speak, the response from the electric motor when you go to sport. But the car is mostly aimed at getting you from A to B in a comfortable, silent, and somehow also environmentally friendly way, so to speak. A full electric drive. All in all, a great car. We would love to have an experience longer to give you more an idea of how much range can we get out of the battery, how is the charging going, and how is the overall experience with the first electric BMW that is positioned within a lineup of vehicles. We're looking forward to doing that in the future, but for now we're really happy that we were able to give you a first look at the new iX3, to walk you around it, show some of the features, and give you a bit of an insight into our first experience with it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed this video. and I hope to see you back in a future video piece here on our YouTube channel of BMW Blog, and on any other channel that this video is being released. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in the comment box below. If you have any other thoughts, or you want to read more about the iX3, don't forget to read my review on BMWBLOG.com. Yeah, if you like it, make sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel, and we hope to see you soon back on our channel with a new video covering another BMW, Mini, Rolls-Royce, or maybe an Alpina. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon back here on the channel. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.